She wasn't supposed to be on that stage. She wasn't supposed to touch that violin. In fact, the whole room thought it would be hilarious to watch her stumble through a few squeaky notes. But instead, what happened next shut the entire crowd down. And it might just change how you look at your own hidden talents. Hey friends, welcome back. If you love stories about everyday people who rise in extraordinary ways, you're in the right place. Tap that like button. It tells us you want more uplifting, goosebump-inducing stories. And let us know in the comments where in the world you're watching from. We love seeing this little community stretch across the globe. Now buckle in, because today's story is one of those you'll feel long after it's over. The Grand Marlowe Conservatory, a place where music hung in the air like perfume. Marble floors, high-arched windows, and students in crisp uniforms hurrying between practice rooms, clutching polished instruments worth more than most cars. And somewhere in those glittering halls, unseen, unnoticed, was Clara Vega. Clara wasn't a student. She wasn't a teacher. She wasn't even supposed to be part of the music world anymore. She was the woman who polished the floors, straightened the chairs, and emptied the bins when everyone else had gone home. Her uniform was plain, her steps quiet. People passed her without even a glance. That was fine. She didn't ask for attention. But here's what nobody knew. Once upon a time, Clara was a violinist. Not just any violinist. She had trained for competitions, dreamed of performing on grand stages, until one day, fear robbed her. Stage fright so strong it froze her fingers, blurred her vision, and sent her running off stage, humiliated. She never went back. Life became about paying rent, raising her daughter, and staying safe. Cleaning halls was safe. Being invisible was safe. Until one morning, the conservatory buzzed with something unusual. A guest judge had arrived, Vivian Caraway, one of the most feared critics in Europe, known for tearing apart musicians with a single line of brutal honesty. Her presence made even the most confident students sweat through their collars. Clara overheard the whispers while she polished a mirror in the rehearsal hall. "Vivian's here. If she doesn't like you, good luck ever getting hired. She's destroyed careers with one review." Curious, Clara slipped into the back of the main auditorium, her mop still in the bucket. She thought no one would notice her. On stage, Vivian's sharp eyes scanned the room. Her tailored suit, silver streak of hair, and clipped words made the students sit straighter. "I am not here to coddle mediocrity," she declared. "If you waste my time, you waste your own future." One by one, students performed. Some cracked under the pressure. Some managed okay, but none impressed her. Then came a snicker from the front row. Jasper, known for being both talented and arrogant, leaned to his friend. "Maybe the cleaning lady could do better." The words were meant as a joke, but Vivian's eyes followed the direction of the laughter and landed squarely on Clara. "You," she said. Clara froze. "Me?" "Yes, the cleaner. Do you play?" The room erupted in whispers and giggles. Clara shook her head quickly. "I'm just here to work." Vivian tilted her chin. "Then let us see you work the strings. Or do you have nothing to offer?" Her challenge silenced the room. All eyes turned to Clara. Can you imagine? One second you're invisible. The next, every student, every teacher, every camera is aimed at you. Her hands trembled as she walked toward the stage. Each step felt like climbing a mountain barefoot. A violin waited in its velvet case. Vivian gestured. "Show us." Now let me pause here for a second, because what happens next, it's the kind of moment that makes you rethink what you've been hiding from the world. But before we continue Clara's story, I want to ask you something. Have you ever been laughed at, doubted, told you weren't good enough, maybe even by your own inner voice? That sting of being underestimated can either crush you or push you. Clara was about to find out which one it would be. If this already resonates, stay with me, because Clara's first note will change everything.
The stage lights were blinding, the weight of 1,000 eyes pressed against Clara's shoulders. She hadn't held a violin in almost 10 years, and the last time she did, she failed miserably. Her knees shook, her throat tightened. She thought about bolting, running back to her safe mop, her quiet job, her invisible life. But then a memory flickered. Her father's weathered hands guiding hers when she was a child. The sound of laughter from her little daughter years ago when Clara hummed lullabies in their cramped apartment. Music wasn't about perfect notes. It was about truth. She lifted the bow. The first note wavered, fragile as glass. A couple of students smirked. Someone coughed. But then came the second note, steadier. Then another, and another. Her eyes closed. Suddenly, she wasn't on stage anymore. She was 10 years old, playing on her grandmother's balcony under orange trees. She was 16, crying after her first competition because the music had cracked her open in ways she couldn't explain. The hall grew quiet. The smirks faded. Even Jasper leaned forward, uncertain now. Clara swayed gently, lost in the melody. Her bow danced, not with flawless precision, but with raw honesty. The kind of sound that carried years of heartbreak, silence, and stubborn hope. It wasn't technical mastery. It was life, translated into music. And when the last note finally floated into silence, the hall stayed frozen. Not a cough, not a whisper. Until Vivian Caraway stepped forward. Her eyes narrowed, voice sharp. That style, where did you learn it? Confused, Clara blinked. I didn't learn it. I lived it. Gasps rippled through the audience. At the back of the hall, an elderly man rose slowly from his seat. Dr. Malcolm Ardent, the conservatory's reclusive music historian, someone who rarely attended these events. His cane topped the floor as he walked forward. That, he said, voice rich with authority, is Andalusian Zahara phrasing, a nearly extinct style of violin playing, passed down orally through families. I thought it had been lost forever. The students turned wide-eyed toward Clara. My grandfather played like that. I just copied him when I was little. Dr. Arden smiled. Then you, my dear, are not just a violinist. You are a bridge to a sound history forgot. Vivienne, for once, had no words. She looked rattled, flipping through her notes, unable to categorize what she had just heard. And then, from the quiet, came the sound of clapping. Naomi, a kind-eyed student, stood, applauding. Others joined. Then the whole room was on its feet. Even Jasper, reluctantly at first, then with sincerity. The same crowd that had laughed minutes ago was now cheering so loudly Clara's knees nearly buckled. Vivienne raised her hand, quieting the room. She stepped closer, her sharp tone softened. I came here to teach, she admitted, but today I was talked. Then bowing her head slightly, she added, Thank you, Miss Vega, for reminding us what music is meant to be. That night, Clara walked out of the conservatory not as the invisible cleaner, but as something new. In her hands wasn't a mop handle, it was a violin case. And right there in the glow of the city lights, Clara realized something. She had never truly lost her gift. She had just kept it waiting for the right moment to be seen. Clara's story reminds us of something powerful. Talent doesn't come with a name tag, a fancy degree, or a perfect resume. Real talent can live quietly, hidden in everyday people, until the world finally gives it space to speak. So maybe you've got something, an art, a gift, a story you've buried under doubt or fear. Let this be your sign. It's never too late. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. If Clara's story moved you, please take a second to like this video. It helps us bring more stories like this to people who might need them. And share it with a friend, a parent, or someone who's forgotten how much they matter. Tell us in the comments, have you ever hidden a talent because you were afraid of being judged? We'd love to hear your story. And remember, your voice matters. Your gift matters. The world needs it. Until next time, believe in the quiet brilliance inside you.